Hello, welcome to my videos. My name is Renee. I'm founder at Stella Doula and I'm a social worker, and most of all, my most important role in this world is being a mother. Apart from that, I love talking about life, all the things I've learned the hard way. I hope my videos can help you see life a little bit different, a little bit more positive, and see meaning in all the hard things that happen. I talk about mental health and motherhood most of all, but every now and again, I think these tips are just valuable for women in general. So today, I want to talk about pain and the purpose and design behind pain. We as a society and as a humankind and animals as well, living beings, associate pain with fear, which is completely natural. But there are purposes behind fear, and I'm going to shed light on it in the aspect of childbirth, in the aspect of our bodies in general when we're injured or need to heal, and in the end I'll touch a little bit on the emotional importance of pain as well. So let's start in the beginning. Let's start at childbirth. I'm a doula. I love birth so much. I'm a huge believer in natural unassisted births. Let a female be the most free and most supported, quiet environment. Just her knowing that people are there who support her, who are there when she needs the help. But if need is not help is not needed, there's no point in no necessity to intervene. So I think women who are about to have a birth, maybe the first time especially, or going through this experience a few times, and us having this understanding that fear is pain, pain is fear, that it is the same thing, that pain is something bad that needs to be numbed out. All of those beliefs are not very helpful. Let's ask ourselves, what is the purpose of pain during birth? So if a woman would not be in pain, she would probably not really recognize the signs of birth coming. Imagine if it was not a painful feeling, she might keep going in her day and then maybe have the baby in an unsafe place, as crossing the road, or just making up crazy scenarios, which has happened also in the world. But it's important that a woman realizes, oh wow, I need to stop everything I'm doing, go to a safe place, call my support people, and then I need to meditate and focus and channel all my energy on the event ahead. So that's actually what pain is doing. Pain is telling the brain, kick everything in gear that is necessary for birth, but stop every other interaction. You don't need to clean the house, don't need to be at work, or all these things. It's then when a woman is supposed to not think as much anymore. So this is where the support team is necessity, where she's like withdrawn into herself. This is how I was at my birth. I was completely withdrawn into myself, quiet, meditative, focused on everything that was happening in my body. I could not even make any decisions. I did, but it wasn't easy for me. I had to be like, what's going on? Like almost, come out of this cocoon, be like, what is everyone talking about? I want to go back and focus on this. So yeah, that's what pain does. It's supposed to separate us from a busy life. If we go to our bodies being hurt in any way, an injury or a sickness or an infection, those things hurt for the same reason. Our body is telling us, remove yourself from a busy routine, and is also telling us that it needs medication or like natural remedies, or more professional help like a doctor. But pain in our body is a message, it is a language. If we keep associating it with fear and numbing it with pain medication, so I'm not talking badly about people who use epidurals and who use Panadol. This is such a normal thing in life these days, but I, for my purpose, want to think, what is the design behind pain? And pain is actually a friend. It is a language. Our body's telling us that something needs extra care, extra pampering. So yeah, those are my thoughts. And now let's quickly talk about emotional pain. It is a very similar reason. So every now and again, when life is really busy and if I've built up some stress, I might be driving along the road and I'll feel suddenly a really heaviness come on me, and I associate it with loneliness. So I could be having hundreds of people around me, which I often do in my week. So busy, I'm so social, I run events, my phone's constantly beeping, and all of a sudden I feel these sort of things, and it's a it's a pain, emotional pain. And I'm wondering, oh my goodness, what is this? So if I ignore it and keep pressing into what I'm doing, it's actually going to get worse, and has led to me to have, really emotional meltdowns where I either need to sob myself to sleep, which is also not always wise, but it's also important when it has happened. But I'm like, where does this sadness come from? It all needs to bubble out. Or, which I've also done, is lash out in anger at the people close to me, which has been my husband. Just angry at him, and it could have been a small thing that tops it off, and I react unproportionately to that. So in a course that I've done called Managing Emotions, I've learned all of these things. It's really, really important to listen to these early signs of emotional pain. And if I think back, so if I've had an emotional outburst, I'm like, oh, I don't want to be this sort of ogre. I want to be, I want to be gentle at heart. I want to be peaceful. I want to be a peacemaker. I want to bring love and restoration to the world. I have all these great callings on my life, and yet, I lose my temper, which I don't want. So I'm like, how do I act again in the alignment with who I'm called to be? A royalty on this earth. Bringing relief to the stress, not adding to it. So when I ask myself, when I'm sensitive to myself and tune into myself, I say, where did it all start? And then I recognize, oh man, 2 weeks ago, I was driving down the Wakers Parkway and feeling this heaviness come on me, which I couldn't explain back then, but I think it was my emotions letting me know, like a warning sign, when the engine light turns on in the car, hey, a maintenance is due. Please don't keep going 1,000 kilometers. Retreat, find some peace, find some time alone, do some art, sleep out in nature, or spend a whole day sitting on a headland. Recycle the brain, like recycle all the inputs that is coming in needs to be sorted, and that's only possible in silence and in meditation and mindfulness. So again, the purpose behind emotional pain is to make us aware that we are heading into something too fast, too long. We need a break. It's telling us, change something in the way that you love yourself. This is a time to say no. This is a time to have more self-care. And then all these lists of things that are good for us, the pampering that our heart needs. For me, it's art. And I get energy from people, so I have to actually be so intentional by, spending a few evenings in quiet and maybe a whole weekend just disengaging. I love that my husband's so supportive. He takes my beautiful daughter, who then I miss throughout that time. But it is actually healing for me, rejuvenating for me, for my senses to become one again, for me to align, for me to know who I am, who I want to be. All of that is way lost when I'm so busy running from spot to spot. So I hope this helped you. I'm going to close with my favorite quote: speak peace to your mind and courage to your heart.